Friends, will start with the introduction for exercise 10.5. In this, we are going to study about the angle subtended by an arc, and you are going to study about the cyclic quadrilateral. Before that, so this is a circle. O is the center of a circle. AB and CD are the two chords. AB and CD are the two chords. See, if arc AB and CD are congruent, then chord AB will be equal to chord CD. In converse, if chord AB is equal to chord CD, then arc CD will be congruent to arc AB. Or else, if chord AB and CD are equal, then arc AB, this arc and these two arc will be, this arc and this arc will be congruent, means exactly identical. In converse, what we can say, if chords are equal, if arcs are equal, or if arcs are congruent, AB is congruent to CD, if arc AB is congruent to CD, then what we can say, then those two chords will be equal. Then we'll go to the theorem number 10.8, which is very important. See, one more thing I want to tell, equal arcs make equal angle at the center, or equal chords will make equal angle at the center. This one also you should know. See, since AB is equal to CD, then COD will be equal to AOB. Equal chords will make equal angle at the center, or equal arcs will make equal angle at the center. Next, theorem number 10.8. The angle subtended by an arc. The angle subtended by this arc at the center is double the angle subtended by PQ is an arc. Angle subtended by an arc is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the circle. See, what does it mean? Angle POQ is equal to 2 times, if it is A, 2 times angle PAQ. Angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point on the circle. It can be anything. Suppose even if you take, if it is B, and this will be also equal to C, PQ will be equal to 2 times PBQ. So, angle subtended by an arc at the center, is double the angle subtended by arc at any point on the circle. Subtended by arc at any point on the circle, or subtended by it at any point on the circle. This is theorem number 10.8. In case if it is a semicircle, angle subtended by at the, see, this will be equal to angle subtended by an arc will be equal to 180 degree. Then see, POQ is equal to, POQ is equal to 2 times PAQ. Since POQ will be equal to 180 degree, obviously this will be equal to PAQ will be equal to 90 degree. So if the arc, see, if the arc is semicircle, then angle formed by the arc, in case if it is semicircle, then it will be 90 degree. Angle subtended by the semicircle at any point on the circle will be equal to 90 degree. If it is semicircle, then the angle formed by this arc at any point on the circle will be equal to 90 degree. Then here in this case, angle POQ is equal to, see what we are saying, since this is more than 180 degree, then this is a reflex angle, then 360 degree minus POQ is equal to 360 degree minus POQ is equal to 2 times PAQ. In case this relation holds good in case of if the angle formed by the arc at the center is reflex angle. If it is reflex angle, and we are going to make use of this relation. If it is semicircle, we are going to make use of this relation. If it is acute angle, we are going to make use of this relation. Please note this down. Acute or obtuse, we are going to make use of this relation. So please note this down. So theorem number 10.9, angle in the same segment of a circle are equal. Suppose if this is a circle, if this is a center, if PQ is an arc, O is the center. See, if I join this, this is minor segment, this is major segment. Okay. Now what they are telling, this is the one of the angle found by arc at any point on the circle. Again, this is one more angle found by the arc at any point on the circle, but these two angles are formed on the same segment. If that is the case, what they are telling, see, according to the theorem number 10.8, what we can write, angle POQ is equal to 2 times angle PAQ. Can we write? Right. So in one more relation, what we can write, angle POQ is equal to 2 times angle PBQ, because what does theorem number 10.8 states? Angle found by the arc at the center is equal to, or angle found by the arc at the center is double the angle found by it on any point of angle found by this arc on any point on the circle, or angle found by it on any point on the circle. So according to that theorem, what we can write, then POQ is the angle found by the arc, PQ at the center. Then that is the case, what we can write, POQ is equal to PAQ, and we can also write POQ is equal to 2 PBQ. So since LHS is equal, we can equate RHS. 2 PAQ is equal to 2 PBQ. So angle PAQ is equal to angle PBQ. Fine. So what they are telling, so angle in the same segment of a circle are equal. Angle in the same segment of a circle are equal. We proved it. Angle in the same segment of a circle are equal. That is the theorem number 10.9. Please note this down. Theorem number 10.10. If a line segment joining 2 points subtend equal angles at 2 other points lying on the same side of a line segment, the 4 points lie on a circle. What does it mean? See, AB is a line segment. AB is a line segment. So angle C is equal to angle D. So angle subtended by it on the 2 other points. So angle subtended by angle, where it is 2 points subtend. So if they subtend equal angle at 2 other points, see, line joining 2 points, line segment joining 2 points, subtend equal angle at 2 other points lying on the same side, of a line segment, then all the 4 points lie on a circle. What does it mean? They are concyclic. Means all the points lie on the circle. All the 4 points lie on a circle, then we call it as a concyclic. What does it states? A line segment joining 2 points, subtend equal angle at 2 other points lying on the same side of a line segment, then the 4 points lie on the circle. The 4 points A, B, C, D lie on a circle. So this is the theorem number 10.10, and proof is not that much important. So all the 3 theorems are very important. Please note this down. So next, do one thing. draw a circle and try to draw quadrilaterals and such that all the vertices of a quadrilateral lie on the circle, and try to measure the opposite angles A, B, C, D. Try to measure A plus C, B plus D, and try to draw different set of quadrilateral such that all the points should lie on the circle. We call them as a cyclic quadrilateral, and try to measure. So you are going to find one thing. If it is error proof, you are going to find them as 180 degree. You can do this. So you can try it with your instrument box. So you use the instrument, try to draw a circle and draw the quadrilateral such that all the vertices of a quadrilateral lie on a circle, and try to measure the opposite angle. Try to measure the opposite angle and try to add them. The sum will be equal to 180 degree. So such quadrilateral we call it as a cyclic quadrilateral. So theorem number 10.11, what does it say? The sum of either pair of opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is equal to 180 degree. The sum of either pair of opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180 degree. That is theorem number 10.11. The sum of either pair. So A plus C is one pair, B plus D other pair. So any pair you take, the sum of opposite angles of either pair of a cyclic quadrilateral is 180 degree. The sum of either pair of opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral is equal to 180 degree. So what does the converse states? Theorem number 10.12. The sum of opposite angles of a quadrilateral, sum of opposite angles of a quadrilateral is equal to 180 degree. Then we can conclude that quadrilateral as a cyclic quadrilateral. So please note these two theorems. These are also two important theorems. Then we'll go to the examples. Please note this down. So example number 3, which is based on the previously explained theorems. In figure, AB is the diameter. AB is a diameter of a circle. CD is a chord equal to radius of the circle. So if you take OA, OB and OC will be equal, and OA, OB, OC and OD will be equal because they are radii of a circle. AC and BD when extended, intersect at point E. Then prove that angle AAB is equal to 60 degree, that we need to prove. Now, so we'll write down what is given to us. What is given? It is given that, so what is given to us? See, CD is equal to OA is equal to OB is equal to OC is equal to OD. So since they have given, CD is equal to radii of the circle. So what is required for us to prove? We need to prove angle AEB is equal to 60 degree. We need to prove angle AE, this angle is equal to 60 degree. Fine. This is the given data. So before that we need some constructional arrangement. What is that construction? Join OC, OD and CB. OC, OD and CB. Join OC, comma OD and CB. Fine. Next, prove. So what we can write? See, we can say angle COD is C. In triangle COD, what we can write? See, I can write angle COD is equal to 90 degree. Sorry, 60 degree. Sorry, angle COD is equal to 60 degree. Why I can write that? Because CO is equal to OD, OD is equal to CD. All the three sides of a triangle are equal. So because therefore COD is equilateral triangle. COD is equilateral triangle. Since we have proved CD is equal to OC is equal to OD, it is given. So next, what we can write? See, angle angle ACB will be equal to 90 degree. Angle ACB is equal to 90 degree. Why? Because angle in the semicircle. Angle in the semicircle. See, if angle formed by an arc in the semicircle, angle formed by an arc at any point on, say if it is the arc is semicircle, the angle formed by it any point on the circle will be 90 degree. In the previous theorem we have studied that one. So that is the reason angle ACB will be equal to 90 degree. Okay, so I'll call it as equation 1. So then what I can write now, see, CBD, this angle CBD is equal to what? See, for arc CD, this is the arc CD, CD is the arc, the CD is the arc. For arc CD, COD is the angle formed at the center, and CBD is CBD. For the same arc, CBD is the angle formed by it on any point on the circle. So then angle formed at the center will be equal to half of it. So angle CBD is equal to half of angle COD. Understood? Okay. What we can write? Sorry. CBD. So right, CBD, angles CBD is equal to half of angle COD. It is right. Why? Because COD is the angle formed at the center, and that will be equal to 2 times the angle formed by it at any point on the circle, that is 2 times the CBD. So CBD is equal to half of COD. Now half of COD is 60 degree. 2 1s are 2 30s are. So CBD will be equal to 30 degree. So now in triangle CEB, in triangle CEB, I know the angle. See, I know the angle CBD. I know the angle B. In triangle CEB, I know the angle B. Just now I found out that is 30 degree. Then angle BCE will be, see, we know that ACE is a straight line. What we can write, since ACE is a straight line, what we can write, angle ACB plus angle BCE is equal to 180 degree. Yes, since we know that from 1 this is equal to 90 degree, 90 degree plus angle BCE is equal to 180 degree, we call it from 1. Fine. So therefore angle BCE is equal to 90 degree. 180 minus 90 is nothing but 90 degree. Now, so in triangle BCE we got angle C, angle B. We need to find angle E. Therefore angle C plus angle B plus angle E is equal to 180 degree. So what is angle C? Angle C is equal to, or else you can write it as C. To avoid the confusion, we can be specific. BCE, angle BCE plus angle CBE plus angle CEB is equal to 180 degree. This is because of angle sum property. Angle sum property, you need to write this as angle sum property. Don't write like this. I don't have a space, that is the reason I didn't write completely. You should write angle sum property. So this BC is 90 degree This CB is 30 degree. So angle CEB is equal to 180 degree. Okay. So 90 plus 30, 120. If you transfer it to the right hand side, that will be equal to 180 minus 120. Therefore, angle CEB is equal to 60 degree. Or else CEB, see, CEB is nothing but AEB. Therefore, angle AEB is equal to 60 degree. Hence, we have proved it. So, please note this. Example number 4. In figure, ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. What does it mean? Angle A plus angle C will be equal to 90 degree, or angle B plus angle D will be equal to 90 degrees. So, either of the pair, any pair you take, that sum will be, opposite angle ka sum will be equal to 180 degree. In which AC and BD are diagonals. AC and BD are diagonals. If DBC, angle DBC, where is angle DBC? This is equal to 55 degree. Angle DBC is equal to 55 degree. Angle BAC is equal to 45. Angle BAC is equal to 45 degree. Then find angle BCD. This I need to find. For that, one relation we have. What relation we have? Angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. First, to know angle A, already I know BAC. I should know CAD. So for that, what we have? See, first we'll write down the given data. What is given to us? Angle DBC is equal to 55 degree, comma, angle BAC is equal to 45 degree. Fine. And even we know angle A plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. Okay. Or else, if you want to be specific, angle BAD plus angle BCD is equal to 180 degree. This is given. So what we need to do, see, for the arc CD, CBD and CAD are lying on the same arc. Then, so angles on the same segment will be equal. So then CBD will be equal to CAD. CBD is equal to CAD is equal to 55 degree. Why? Because angles on the same segment. Angles on the same segment are equal. Now, so we got to know what it is. See, angle CAD is 55 degree. Now, angle BAD is equal to, what we can write? BAC, angle BAC plus angle CAD. Can we write? Angle BAD is equal to sum of the C. This angle plus this angle, that is BAC plus CAD. BAC plus CAD. What is BAC? That is 45 degree. 45 degree plus CAD is nothing but 55 degree, which is equal to 40 plus 50, 90. 90 plus 10, 100. This is 100 degree. Then what is BCD? Therefore, angle BCD is equal to 180 degree minus angle BAD. You can call it as equation number 1. Then equation number 1 will become BCD is equal to 180 minus BAD. What is BAD? Just now we calculated 180 minus, that is 100. So therefore angle BCD is equal to 80 degree. Please note this term. So example number 6. Example 5 is very much easy. You can do it on your own. Example number 6, look at it. Prove that the quadrilateral formed by internal angle bisectors of any quadrilateral is cyclic. Suppose if this is a quadrilateral. Okay. This is a quadrilateral A, B, C, D. Okay. Now this is a B. Let B be the angle bisector of. So let D be the angle bisector of D, angle D, and next A H be the angle bisector of angle A. Next, let BH be the angle bisector of angle B. Let BH be the angle bisector of B, and EC be the angle bisector. Let EC be the angle bisector of angle C. Okay. So the intersecting point of angle bisector be F and G respectively. So what they are telling, the quadrilateral formed by the internal angle bisector of any quadrilateral is cyclic. So then what we need to prove? We need to prove HFE plus HGE is equal to 180 degree. Then we can say the quadrilateral formed by this C, internal bisector of this particular quadrilateral, whatever this quadrilateral that has been formed, that is cyclic. To prove that it is cyclic, we need to prove the opposite angle, that is angle F plus angle G should be equal to 180 degree, or angle H plus angle A should be equal to 180 degree. So either we can prove. See, now what we can write, what is given to us? DE and CE are the, or else we can write in a single statement, DE comma AH comma BH comma CG are the angle bisectors of angle D comma angle A comma angle B and angle H, angle C respectively. Means, what does mean angle bisector? See, in this case DAH will be equal to HAB. This is called angle bisector. So it is going to bisect the angle into two equal parts, two equal angles. Okay. Now what we need to prove? We need to prove EFGH is a cyclic quadrilateral. We need to prove it as cyclic quadrilateral. Fine. For that, what we have? See, angle HFE is equal to angle DFA. Fine. So now angle DFA can be written as, see, this angle can be written as 180 minus this angle. See, sum of all the angles of a triangle will be equal to 180 degree. So in that, if I want this 180 minus these two angle will give, I'll get this angle. So same thing I am using. So angle ADF minus angle FAD, or else angle DFA is equal to 180 minus angle A, minus half of angle A, half of angle D. So we have written ADF. Sorry, ADF is nothing but half of angle D minus this DAF is nothing but half of angle A. See, this is angle bisector. So angle DAF will be equal to angle FAB. So we can write DAF as half of angle A. That only I have written. Next, angle HGE. So I'll call it as equation number 1. Angle HGE is equal to angle CGB or else angle CGB can be written as 180 minus, similarly 180 minus what we can write, angle GCB minus angle GBC. I need to remove two angles. So 180 minus these two angles will get, I'll get this angle. So or else we can write it as 180 minus half of GCB is nothing but half of angle C minus GBC, angle GBC is nothing but half of angle B. So we call it as equation number 2. Fine. So 1 plus 2, what will get? Angle DFA or else angle, what I need? I need in terms of HFE. Where is HFE? Angle HFE plus angle HGE is equal to, what we can write? 180 minus half of angle D minus half of angle A. Next, plus 180 degree minus half of angle C minus half of angle B. So 180 plus 180, see, angle HFE plus angle HGE is equal to 180 plus 180, 360. 360 degree minus, see, I'll take minus of common out, then it will be equal to angle D plus angle A plus angle C plus angle B. Okay. So sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral will be equal to 360 degree. So which is equal to 360 degree minus half of 360 degree. Because sum of all the angles of a quadrilateral will be equal to 360 degree. 2 ones are 2 180s. So 360 minus 180 is nothing but, so angle HFE plus angle HGE is equal to 180 degree. So we proved it. Therefore what we can conclude, so HFGE is a, therefore or else we can write these words. The quadrilateral formed by the quadrilateral formed please wait, let me adjust the focus. The quadrilateral formed by the internal angle bisectors of any quadrilateral is cyclic. Fine, we proved it. See, HFE plus HGE is equal to 180 degree. So I told you, see, if one pair of the angle is equal to 180 degree, then opposite pair, if it is equal to 180 degree, then we can conclude it as cyclic quadrilaterals. We proved it. Please note this down.